Hello, hello, it's Coyote Christina here. It is week 3, Wednesday, of the Amazed and Amused campaign. And today we're going to talk about chakras. This week we're talking about the realization stage. That involves conscious choice, faith, and no more drama. We kind of did some conscious choice stuff and some animal totems, snake and blue heron. And this time, now we're going to look into some of the chakras. We're kind of moving from our first and second chakra. In the initiation stage, we were talking about our right to be and our right to feel. So our right to be is our first chakra, our right to feel is our second chakra. Now we're moving up to our right to act. Second chakra is sacral, third chakra. We're moving up to our right to act, which is our sacral right behind our belly button, and then our heart chakra at the fourth center. So with the realization stage, it's really focused on that third chakra, on our ego identity, moving up into our fourth chakra, which is just social identity. So first we have to be comfortable with ourselves before we can have healthy relationships with others. So the skill set is to hold ourselves radically accountable. We've talked about that the last couple of days for our lives and where we are. So there's no more blaming, no excuses. Life happens and there's reasons, but not excuses. And so that's how we take ownership of where we are. And when we do that, then we can learn to move in the direction that we want to go, build the life of our dreams. And once we take full ownership of where we are, we can begin to move toward where we want to go. So today we're going to talk about conscious choice and chakras. And I just wanted to make a clarification because last night I was talking about our feelings and how I had a tendency to go into a pity party. And there's a delicate balance, and that's what our chakra systems and becoming more aware what we can do as we start to balance, because there's ignoring what hurts us and ignoring and saying, I don't want to be upset about that, so I'm just going to push it aside and pretend like I'm not upset when I'm really upset. So we have to be aware of our feelings and honor them, but we can't get caught up in them and let them control us. So we can't just push them away and ignore them. That's a deficient second chakra, and we can't just become overcome by them. And we can, but if we want to be healthy adults and cause little harm, we need to be a little better at managing our emotions. So the goal of the conscious choice is that we want a healthy ego, so a healthy third chakra, a balanced sense of self, where we build awareness to a level where we are making conscious choices and taking knowledgeable action in the present moment that builds our integrity by aligning our actions with our inner truth. To do this, we need to realize when we're reacting out of old habits or patterns. We need to identify unhealthy coping mechanisms that we might have adopted at times, possibly for survival, and they're not serving us anymore. And then we need to create the space needed to choose and act, to choose and to act in ways that align our beliefs, thoughts, words, and actions. So that's a lot to go over. That's mainly in the third chakra. And then as we move up to the fourth chakra, that's about love. The basic concept. Air is the element, so where we find equilibrium and balance. Our fourth chakra is actually in the center of our chakra system. We've got 3 above: the throat, third eye, and crown. And we have 3 below: the solar plexus, sacral, and root. So equilibrium and balance, it's our right to love and be loved. It's our social identity, and it's around acceptance. So there's just kind of a download of some chakra information. Hopefully that's interesting to you. So first, as we build conscious choices and we get that strong third chakra, and tomorrow and the next day we'll go into the second chapter, or the second concept of the realization stage, which is faith, and faith is trust in our heart. Kind of goes up into our fourth chakra. Let's see. I'm gonna do a little excerpt. I read this on Tuesday too, but I just think it's a good one to reiterate during the realization stage. So at the edge of consciousness, so where we've come just naturally, what our environment has formed us, just happening, and maybe we haven't, like our society doesn't encourage us to look inward for answers or to even look inward. It's always telling us to look outward. We're a consumer-based society there's always something we can buy to make us feel better, look better, be more accepted, be more loved, etc., which I'm really good at that talking about a consumer society. So these cookies, I'm eating my last. These are some of my favorite things I'm sharing today. There were 4 huge cookies in here, and they were only $1.99. The chocolate chip ones, which are my favorite, were $5.99, but I got the cranberry oatmeal ones because they were only $1.99, and they're pretty yummy. And this is my other, for Pride Month, I also wanted to bring up, I had to buy this cup. I've always been a rainbow girl, and I fully support Pride Month, and I fully support all identities. So LGBTQ, I don't know if there's more, but there we go. There's Lady Liberty. Our democracy is about diversity, equity, inclusion, because government of the people, by the people, for the people. That means there's representation, and we're a very diverse nation, and we should have diversity in our governance. So if we want a democracy, a true democracy. So there's a few of my favorite things that, yes, I did buy these things. It's hard to get away from consumption. But here we go. At the edge of consciousness is where a fated life ends and destiny begins. As we build our awareness, we learn to make conscious choices that are healthy and based in the here and now. We learn to move away from the biological and physiological impulses that push us to react. Only through building our self-awareness do we raise our consciousness and become able to move away from the emotional history embedded in our sinew. So that's just a little bit. I was maybe going to read a little more, but let's see what I can find, or if I can find. There it is. That's from. Maybe should we read a little about Raven, because Raven is magic. So let's end with a little magic today. Raven provides the courage to enter the darkness of the void, which is home to all that is not yet in form. So that's a quote from medicine cards to start the chapter on magic and Raven medicine and Amazed and Amused. So Raven is honored in many traditions as the bringer of magic. When Raven appears along our path, magic is in the air. Do not try to figure it out. You cannot. It is the power of the unknown at work, and something special is about to happen. The deeper mystery, however, is how will you respond to the sparkling synchronicity of the alchemical moment? Will you recognize in it and use it to further enhance your growth? Can you accept it as a gift from the Great Spirit? Or will you limit the power of the great mystery by explaining it away? And that is mainly a quote from medicine cards. So, but I just love to talk about Raven music. They decided to be in the hallway with the little leaf blower to clean it out. I don't know how loud it's gonna be. But I just wanted, and Goose is barking because he hears something outside. It's okay, Buzzy. And I totally lost my train of thought because of distractions. But I hope that's fun information for you all. It was Chakra Day, but we did go into Raven Magic. Always like to bring animal guides in. And we will end there. So have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.